Well, it's going to be a bit of sanding to prep the wood. I know my plastering isn't the greatest, but if you have a look at that on there, that is, you know, on this big wall, going up here, up to there. It's not so bad, is it? You know I'm not the greatest. I don't do it for a job. I can sort of get it on the walls. It mainly sticks. SBR, I don't like it. I've come to the conclusion I like PVA better. You can go out and learn, but it's a bit of practice and experience that helps make things really, you know, get yourself better at doing these things. But it's all a learning curve. It's all one of these things where you're just trying to do what you can and how you can with what you know. And that's what I'm trying to do. And if that helps anyone else think, do you know what? If he can sort of do it to a reasonable-ish standard, I've got a chance, then fantastic. Because that's the whole purpose of this. And the other thing that I just want to say is a huge thank you to those of you who give a little bit of advice or suggest a tool, a tip, a technique that I hadn't thought of, didn't know about, because you can't know everything, can you? And, you know, that is brilliant. So even things like the teaspoon, hey? Yeah, it's one of those things that I do love to see the comments. I do try and respond to them all. And it's always a case of a huge thank you from me to you, because this, I'm sure, a lot of what I'm doing is really you, and it's you're doing it yourself. And if you're thinking about doing it, then maybe it makes you just go, I'm going to do it. And that's it. When I look at the house and all that plastering that we've done, oh boy, if you asked me to do it again now, I'd be so scared and daunted. But over time, if you break it down into chunks and just do a little bit, before you know it, you've kind of done it. And that's the beauty of it. Anyway, enough of this. You know me, if I'm waffling, I'm avoiding. And often I'm avoiding things because I'm nervous about doing it, because I don't know how to do it, or I've never quite done it. And sometimes I just need to chat to myself and give myself a bit of encouragement to just actually get out and do it. So yeah, we're doing a bit more of doing it, but it's going to be painting. We've got loads of painting. Want to try and get as much done as we can. So enjoy watching paint appear on the walls, because I've noticed that watching it on the speeded up version, sometimes it just appears and you hardly see me. Oh, if only there were magic fairies doing it. But that's what we're going to be doing. So you enjoy yourself with a cup of coffee as you watch paint dry. It's cool. Oh no, I'll do a bit of sanding first, just to smooth off some of these edges. As I say, just as a reminder, this wooden sort of doorway, it's really hard feathering it in to here to make that a nice smooth curve. So I'm just going to sand that little bit on there and get it, you know, a little smoother. That's the plan. I'm sure there's a technique or a better way of doing it, or you know, the ones that think I should jack it in and get a professional in. I love that. I join Facebook groups about professionals who've made a horlicks of it. Yeah, I don't think the word professional necessarily means it is the same as good. For some of you it is, but for some, ooh, we've all met them. Anyway, sanding, painting. Yeah, that's working. I like that. That's just going to blend in as you paint that. That's going to really feather in beautifully. Love it. Should have put that mask on a bit sooner. I can feel the dust. Not lead paint, as far as I'm aware. Find out in about 20 years' time. I realised, as I make a coffee, that I didn't tell you why I got delayed the other day. Yesterday. And I'll tell you, I promise, I'll tell you as I'm doing some painting. But I'm just going to kind of wipe down that bit of plaster, get rid of some of the dust and what have you. And whilst the coffee's, kettle's boiling, we'll get that done. And then I'll tell you what happened. It's ridiculous. It's quite scary, actually. And yeah, I can't believe I did it. Teaspoon, come on. Can't do this without a teaspoon. Here we go. Doesn't ring like a china cup, does it? Oh, play the game. Come on. Alright, massive tub of paint. Pouring some out. What could go wrong? Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. Something, 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 Jupiter and Mars. Now then, I'm really upset by one of the comments that I got, because here I am in the stairwell doing the painting of the plaster, and the comment was, your plastering is as rough as hell. Now that's really upset me, and I'll tell you why. Because that I have highlighted a few people who may have not quite built or designed something well enough or fit for use, or that is absolutely bloody useless. And I have said there is a special place in hell for them. Now, if hell is as rough as my plastering, those people are gonna have a smooth time in hell. And that has really upset me, because I want them to suffer for the rubbish that they've designed or built. So I'm in a quandary. I think I must have to make my plastering terrible. And therefore, those people with that special place in hell are gonna suffer. So yeah, it's amazing how a comment can upset you. Sometimes you just gotta step back and think. Lowered the ladder, and let's paint that a little bit there. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, he's painting. When is he going to tell us what happened that delayed me coming to the house? Well, here's the story, folks. Gather in, draw round, because it might be a lesson to, I don't know. Well, it was a lesson to me, but maybe it's something that you might want to check as well. Who knows? It could save someone else the grief I had. So I'm coming back from my usual place, the DIY place, getting some more gear, and I'm driving back towards the house, and I'm only about a mile away, and I'm aware of going the other direction, a police car, and I kind of notice in the wing mirror, the blue lights come on and the police car begins to turn around. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, get ready to get out of his way, because the message has just come through, you know, go get the villains, go get the bad guys, you know, stop this major crime, get out there and do it. And so I'm thinking, right, I need to just keep an eye and just see if he's coming my way, because I'm about to go onto a dual carriageway, so a 2-lane bit of road. It's not very fast, it's only 40 miles an hour. And I want to be in the right-hand side because I'm going to be turning right at a roundabout. Anyway, I see the police car, it's come round, it's coming my way. So I thought, right, I better get out of the right-hand lane, go into the left-hand, kind of slower lane, and let it come whizzing past. Well, I went left into the left-hand lane, and the car came into the left-hand lane. I thought, oh my goodness, he's turning left at the roundabout. I better get back in the right-hand lane. So I got back in the right-hand lane, and the police car came out to the right, and I thought, my God, this police car is absolutely rubbish at getting past me. So I kind of thought, right, well, I can't go left again because I'm nearly at the roundabout. I've got to turn right. That's where I'm going. So I indicate to turn right. And so does the police car. Blue lights going. And I'm thinking, what's going on here? This guy, he doesn't seem to want to get past me. I mean, talk about slow on the uptake. But there I am, you see, law-abiding citizen. Why would I think that the police car is after me? But it was. So I came around the roundabout, and there's just a little bit near a bakery. You saw us get a sandwich there ages ago, actually. I haven't been back. What's up with this? Anyway, I pull in, and I'm looking in the rearview mirror at the police car, and you know, I'm looking, and I can't see any movement from this police car, so I think that might be a mistake. And I'm looking that way. All of a sudden, there's a loud knock on the window. Well, yeah, it was one for the swear jar, because I went, what the F and Jeff? Lowered the window, and the policeman said, I'd like to ask you a few questions. I went, oh, okay. And he said, would you mind getting in our car? I went, oh. And I'm thinking to myself, this sounds a little bit more serious than I've watched your YouTube channel, Nigel. I think you're super. You're absolutely fantastic. Keep going on the house. None of that. Obviously a potential subscriber. So I go round, I lock up the van, and I walk back to their car, and he opens up the rear door, and it's a BMW 3 Series estate thing. He says, "Can you get in?" Well, I kind of got my knee in, but my bum was halfway up the back seat because there's just no room in the back of those things for someone my size. So I said, "No, I can't get in." And they both kind of looked at me, ready to draw their guns or something. And I went, "No, you're going to have to seriously move your chair forward." So he slid his chair, he's like, and he had to do it upright. So he's in the front, trying to turn around to see me, and he can't fit in the front. I can only just fit in the back, and the other guy's there. And so they start the interrogation. So I thought, maybe this is the first, part of the interrogation. Make you feel very uncomfortable sitting in their car. Well, the question was, "Is that your van?" "Yes." "Yeah, it's my van, isn't it?" "Yeah, we've all seen it." He said, "You're driving around uninsured." And I kind of went, "Oh." And lots of clever things came through my head, and I thought, "No, keep stum. Don't be smart, bestie." But I was thinking to myself, all of a sudden I was thinking, no, I've definitely paid. And they said, "Oh, it pinged up, you went through a camera here, you went through a camera there, there's been a check, you haven't got insurance, you haven't had insurance since basically the 1st of May when I got it, end of April, 1st of May. We need to have a word with you about this." And it's like, "What the?" He said, "Have you got any proof that you've got insurance?" And they happen to have stopped us in the spot where I know there is no signal. So I'm on my phone, and he starts asking me loads of questions, and I just said, "Right, just hang on, just give me a minute. I need to concentrate. I can't answer your questions and try and find my emails and everything, so just bear with me a second." Anyway, the thing's bloody spinning cheese, and he's thinking I'm stalling for time and what have you. So it was getting a bit tense, and then they were radioing in, querying stuff, and they were getting national databases and where was it last seen and all the CCTV, and you realise how monitored you are. But I found something. I said, "Oh, it's Admiral." So I'm with Admiral, and I said, "Yeah, I think I'm with Admiral," and I gave him my name and where I lived or whatever, and I could hear this voice on the radio come back and says, "Oh yeah, it's come back, that person's got a policy with Admiral." And the guy went, "Oh, right." And I had a look, found my bank statement. I said, "Look, here's the payment going out." And so they went, "Oh, okay." And I said, "Let me just see if I can find any email." And here's the thing, folks. I got an email back from Admiral to say, "Here's the details of your Peugeot partner van." Brilliant. 69 plate, yeah, brilliant. And what have you. Log into the app. Well, I couldn't log. I remember getting it and I couldn't log into the app, and I thought, I'll have a look at the documents later. Never got round to checking the app, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, something went wrong with it and they've cancelled the policy. I am uninsured, so I'm beginning, tensions rising, panics, anxiety's rising a bit, and I'm sort of going, hold on a sec. So I had to try and log in to Admiral. So it didn't work. I tried setting one up and it said you've already got one, so I had to get the password request, and all the time the internet is so slow and they're looking at me and they're asking more questions and all the rest of it. And I noticed on the front of the email there was a number plate, and I said, hang on, this number plate isn't my van. It doesn't look like, I don't recognise it. And they went, oh right, give us that number plate. So I gave them that number plate, Peugeot partner van from someone who lives about 5 miles away. And I thought, well, what's gone on here? And the policeman, the constable said, how did you apply for your policy? I said, no doubt did it online, because you can never get to speak to anyone. So you always do it online. And he said, this is a bit strange, isn't it? And I said, yeah, it is. And he says, well, yes, you've got a policy, but you've got a policy on a van that you don't own, that you know nothing about. And I went, yeah, right, okay, so that's a bit weird, isn't it? And he said, you filled it in online. I said, I think I know what's happened. And when I test drove a different van, I put that number plate in to give me an idea what the insurance was going to be. Now, when I went back, having bought this van, and went back in, I thought I'd put the number plate of the new van in, but all I saw was, you know, your preloaded details come up, Peugeot partner van, and all the rest of it, 69 plate, all the details are there. You go, yep, that's it. And click, pay. What had I done? I'd paid for the insurance on a van that I test drove about a week before I got this one. So I'm sort of trying to explain this to them. They're sort of looking at me going, you're a bit of a clueless sod, aren't you, if you start insuring other people's vans? And he effectively just looked at me and just said, look, I'm pretty happy that you haven't tried to dodge insurance, that you have got insurance, but you just made a monumental balls up in terms of putting it on the wrong van. And that van is technically uninsured. And I said, well, yeah, I mean, if I'd had a bump, that would have been a hell of a one to explain. However, their biggest concern was, they said, where are you going now? Because we're happy to let you go. Let me go. I felt I had 1 foot in jail. And I said, I'm just going down the road to, you know, the house, the dream house. I said, I'm just going down the road to the Escape to the Dream House. Don't forget to subscribe. No, I didn't. I just said, look, I'm just going down there a few hundred yards. And they went, right, will you drive extremely slowly and carefully? And I said, you're making me nervous. Why? And they said, because we've stopped you for no insurance. The van still doesn't have insurance. And if you drive it now and something happens, we're in trouble. And I went, no, don't worry. I'm going to sit here in the van until I've got it sorted, logged in, changed the app, changed the number plate and all the rest of it, got it for my van. So they said, right, fine, away you go. So I got in my van and I was thinking, I know what they're going to do. They're going to drive away and then they're going to come back and see if I'm still there. So sure enough, I'm on the phone. I was actually phoning Matthew saying, look, I'm going to be late until I've sorted all this out. And he said, why? And I said, well, I've just been stopped by the police who were coming back the other way. Sure enough, checking that I was doing something. I waved at them and they did a bit of a kind of steely glaze, look forward, don't wave back type thing. And I told Matthew, I said, look, I'm going to be late. I've just been in the back of a police car. You know, I've got to sort all this out. I'll see you in a bit. Okay, as I'm then trying to sort this out, WhatsApp messages are coming up. Because Matthew's put in the family chat, Dad's been arrested. Thanks, Matthew. and Sally's like, what? And the kids, the other two, just ignored it. Not concerned at all. And apparently Sally was out and she went, what? And somebody said, oh, what's happened? I said, oh, Nigel's been arrested. And the person that was with Sally went, oh, no. And Sally said, oh, what for now? And the other person sort of said, pardon? And she went, oh, no, don't mean that. Don't mean that. He's not normally arrested, what have you. But yeah, caused panic. Caused panic in the family chat. And yeah, I had to message that. Whilst I'm trying to sort the insurance, I had to say, no, I haven't. It's all right, and all the rest of it. Anyway, a few clicks of a button, a few changes, details, number plate changed, and what have you. £5.20 of admin fee paid, or whatever the adjusted premium thing was, sorted. But what a lesson to myself that sometimes those preloaded details, if you don't check the fine detail, you can make a cock up like that. So it's just maybe someone out there will go out and check their insurance policy and realise they've got the wrong details on it. I don't know, but there we go. So yeah. Oh, and by the way, BMWs cannot fit a 6-foot copper and a 6'4" person behind each other. They're tiny. You need a bigger car. I did tell them that. I said you need to put in for a bigger car. I don't think they were impressed with that suggestion either. Anyway, off they went. They had a good day. I had a good day. There's a bit of a weird sensation in your stomach afterwards, but all's good in the end. But that's why I was late. I've just had a call. I've got to be somewhere else fairly urgent. So I'm going to clean up my paint tray because I was going to top it up and do some more, but I've got a dash. So I'm going to clean that up and get out of here. But look. Look at that. Hey, that's beautiful. Right, Matt's off to do some work as well. He's disappearing. See you later, Matt. We will continue with the painting. The trouble is I've got to be over at the other adventure that's coming up soon. I've got a dash over there now. I've just had a phone call. Right, so I've got a dash. It's a couple of hours travel and what have you. So I need to get out of here. So I will do some more painting later. But hey, if you want, I'll leave you watching that paint dry. Until then, I'll see you soon as we escape to the dream house. See you soon. Paint drying time. Here we go. Just for you. That's enough of that. If you were still watching that, I thank you greatly. You are one and only true subscriber. Thank you very much. So added bonus. Right, that's it. Come on, let's go. See ya.